Hi guys, happy Friday. Okay, I'm a little bit fired up, so I wanted to share like some gut checks and some ahas that I had last night and I had to rewatch or re-listen today. So I pulled up a podcast by Rachel Hollis, and she's kind of the jam right now. So I've got a couple of her books, and like I said, I follow her podcast. It's called the Rise Podcast. And the episode I was listening to last night was titled The Fear of Failure. And I was like, let's listen, right? Because I know we all experience that. We all have kind of that worry when we're trying something new or making some changes in our routine, in our life, however that looks for you, when something new is starting, of failing at it, right? And she took it layers deeper than that. That is it really about the act of failing, or is it about how we are afraid of others watching us fail? And she kind of like, with that. And she said, that's not a fear of failure. That's our ego sitting on top of us and getting in the way. That we are more worried about what others' opinions of us will be when we begin a process, when we start to make changes, when we, move forward in whatever facet that may look like, that we are allowing the opinions of others to hold us back, to have us stay stuck, if you will. I'm just going to take a, step out there and say, if you're making changes or have it on your heart to make changes in your routine, in your life, it's going to be because you're unhappy, right? You want something different. That's okay. It's absolutely okay for us to want more, to want something different in our lives, guys. But so what's not okay with that is that we put the power into other people's hands. She said it's not that they've even asked for our power. We've just straight up given it to them because we've created this story within ourselves of what they will think of us and what they might say and criticize us for wanting to better ourselves. And I was like, yeah, well, I've been down that road a time or two, I've felt those things. I've had those concerns. I still do. Like I said, I'm human and emotions happen. But also, we have the ability to be self-aware about that. If we're if we're willing to have that honest conversation with ourselves and see what is causing us to fail or why we think we're failing, looking inward, and it's not. Having that reality check within ourselves that we're not failing through this. We haven't experienced failure per se. But it's that fear of outside judgment, right? I thought that was stinking powerful. And I have to remind myself of that daily, Gosh, I always take it back to when our little ones start to walk, right? They don't get it. They don't know that all those falling downs, like they don't just lay there and say they give up. They're not meant to walk. They'll never be able to walk, when they're toddling around at 9 months on until they nail it. No, they get back up every time. They have people encouraging them right beside them, right? Literally holding their hands, helping them through it step by step until they get stronger, until they learn more independency, until, and it's through that their braveness grows. It's through the encouragement of others who are celebrating those successes, who are celebrating when they get back up, right? That's the message we have to keep telling ourselves, that we have to nail into our head, flip the script, and not focus on the times we fall down, but celebrate the heck out of the times that we stand back up. Legit. You are going to have those around you who will clap for you, who will celebrate that for you, and who will encourage you to continue taking those steps forward. Guys, it's no one who's in your tight circle that is going to look at you and go, yeah, you failed. You can't do that. Like, it's impossible for you. Give it up. Stop trying. Those that are talking in that manner, those that might be, let's just be honest, whispering it while you're out of the room, or, you're the topic of conversation in someone else's text messaging. Think of the place that it's coming from. Like she said on the podcast, think of the source. Consider the source. Is it from someone who you look up to? Is it someone who you admire? Is it a mentor of yours who's doing, kind of the, I don't know what I want to call it, like the criticizing? No, it's not. It's not. She pointed out this. She goes, those that are ahead of you in whatever journey you're traveling, those that are ahead of you in career, those that are ahead of you in fitness, that's a focus for me. They are not going to criticize when you fall down. Because you know what? They've fallen down more times than you have. And they've stood back up. They know the struggle it is in getting started. They know, the struggles when when something kind of stops working for you and you need to realign yourself. Maybe, you're going through a hard pocket of time just in life in general. They've experienced those things. They know the toughness of getting through that. And they're going to help you, and they're going to celebrate you, and they're going to, be supportive and give tips and suggestions that are going to help you navigate those hurdles easier, right? They're never going to criticize you. So consider the source of that. If you can, reflect in and think, what is causing me to stay stuck? Is it that fear of failure? Is it the fear of what others will say? Not if I fail, but guys, it's when we fail. The path to move forward is going to be filled with failures. You're going to be learning along the way. And here's the deal. It is never a failure when you learn from it, okay? She had to dig up a little research on Thomas Edison. Because, how many times did it take him to invent the light bulb? I mean, I know I make some crazy references here, guys, but think about it. How many attempts did he make, or how many, ways and learnings and figuring outs had to occur for the dang light bulb to be invented? And it was over 1,000 some, I think, right? And she pointed out a question he was asked, how did you feel having 1,000 failures in this process? He said, I didn't have 1,000 failures. I learned over 1,000 ways to make this light bulb come to life. It was a 1,000-step process for him. And that's the deal. We need goals, right, to drive us forward. Absolutely. We need to know where we're headed on this road and, the directions that we're going. But it's not the goal that we need to be in love with. It's the process. And that's not always pretty. Rarely is it, right? For me, the process of daily making the choice to be mindful of what I put in my body, to align myself in a community that is uplifting, that is supportive of those that have journeyed farther ahead of me on this road, of those that we are, lifting up into our community and welcoming and celebrating their first steps forward for themselves. That's the daily decisions. That's the dirty work, if you will. That when I'm here by myself, that I stop being busy and take the time to put in a workout for myself, to stretch and move my body in a positive way. That's not always easy. Yeah, there's steps to follow, but it's hard. It's hard, it's dirty, it's not always the pretty, shiny stuff that we like to celebrate. It's not the highlight reel. It's the everyday. But I'm going to say this. If you don't find a peace and a love and enjoyment in the process, the freaking goals don't matter. You're not going to have this epiphany, happy, celebratory moment when you reach that goal. Not everything is going to be fixed when you can check off reaching that goal. If you haven't dug in and found a true enjoyment in the process and celebrating it, because the process is your life, guys. Like she said, the goal is a someday. The process is your life. And I'm like, preach. That was amazing. Like, I listened to it last night, I told you, and it was just clicking with me. I shared it out in one of my groups. I'll share it down below here when I'm off. But if you don't, it's like 45 minutes long. But guys, seriously, put your earbuds in, carry your phone around with you, pull it up in your car when you're driving. Find the minutes to tuck into this episode and just listen to her. Her words bring just a lot of reasoning and recognition to me. And I know they'll speak to a lot of you out there as well. So, I'm going to wrap it up and get off here. I got some things to do before it gets loud and crazy here. But anyway, I just had to share some of those nuggets with you guys. That being worried about the opinions of others when you are wanting to make changes for yourself, guys, do not turn your power over. Do not hand over all of your power to someone whose opinion does not flipping matter, right? You are the only one who matters in the decision making for yourself, for your life. Do not walk away from these days any longer having the could haves, should haves, out of a fear of failing. That is how you will move forward. I have failed over and over and over again. If we want to call it that, I'm learning through it. 5 years strong, okay? It took me 4.5 to finish college. I don't know why I should carry a heavy expectation that learning how to take care of myself and be a responsible adult and, make the healthy decisions when I'm stressed to the max and pissed and sad and all that. I don't know why I would expect to be an expert at that, okay? I took that pressure off myself several years ago, and it was the best thing I could do because I don't carry guilt when I trip up. Enough of that, right? We are human, we will fail, and when we learn from it and we move forward, we get stronger every day, guys. Do me a darn favor and celebrate the times when you get back up, right? And tell me about it too, because that's kind of my jam. That's kind of what I do. I love hearing when people can pick themselves up from a hard moment and still move forward, okay? Take care. It should be a good weekend ahead here, I think. We're both on different diamonds, different ways. I don't know. And I'm going to preach this to my kids too, because sports can be tough. You can feel like you're failing out there on the ball field, but if you do not learn from it, right? Where's our growth going to come from? Okay, guys, take care. I'm going to share the podcast down below so you can grab this episode, and then hopefully you love her enough like I do that maybe you subscribe to it. I'm just saying that, fill your mind with those who are going in the direction that you want to go. Okay? Anyway, I'm off here. See y'all later. Bye.